Okay, I'm back. I just had to reposition things so I didn't have to squint the whole time and be blinded. So, because even though the sun's behind me, it's still reflecting off of the screen. Okay. Your central experience for the rest of August is the Ten of Wands, which is all about taking on too much. Especially actions, things you have to do, taking on way too many things that you have to do. This can also have to do with carrying burdens and responsibilities, not just for yourself, but other people as well. Oftentimes it just represents a feeling of exhaustion, overloaded, wondering whether or not you'll be able to make it to the finish line with all of these things that you are trying to do. This can also represent back pain, neck, upper back, lower back, middle back problems. Just from a feeling of shouldering all of the actions that need to be taken or all of the responsibilities onto your own shoulders. So I pulled a clarifier for this to help me figure out a little bit more information about this. And what I got is the Six of Cups. Is it that one? Yeah. Here's the Six of Cups. This represents the past. It can also represent soulmate love, but I'm not getting that in this case. I'm getting a feeling that this comes from just the past in general. So when I look at these two together, I'm thinking that you are feeling overburdened by the past, or perhaps in the past you had way too much on your plate, too many responsibilities, too many things you had to do, not knowing whether or not you could actually feasibly do all these things or make it to the end without completely falling apart. This could possibly be a long-standing pattern from the past of this may have been going on for a number of years of feeling this way. This can also be possibly carrying burdens for other people in your family from the past, or carrying burdens from the past that aren't actually really in your real life, everyday life anymore, but you're still carrying this with you. You're still carrying this sense of responsibility or feeling overburdened without enough help from the past. Somehow this is still lingering for you. Perhaps you're still trying to do this, or you have done this for so long in the past that it has carried on into your present, where you still are feeling as if you have to do this, or it's still in your energy field now. This is kind of reminding me of the Capricorn reading I did, where an analogy I gave in that one was about the backpack, but maybe I'll figure out a different one to do with this one. This is when you get used to a certain way of looking at things or feeling about things, and especially when it's long-standing, as in you've had to feel that way or do those things for a number of years. When things start to get better or things start to change, you can still have this ingrained in you to expect this or to still have it around you. You're so used to it being there that even when it's gone, it still feels like it's there. Another analogy for it that I'll give you guys is different from what I gave Capricorn, but a similar thing. When you're a parent, or let's use an analogy of when you're a stay-at-home parent and you have a young child, like a 2 or 3-year-old or even younger. Everything about your reality is about taking care of this being that is your child, feeding them, clothing them, doing the laundry, doing the dishes, picking them up when they cry, cradling them when they're tired. Your whole entire reality is all about taking care of this young being that's yours. And let's say you're used to doing this for a number of years. And all of a sudden someone comes along that says, okay, it's your time for a break. I'm going to take the baby. You go out for a day or two or even a week and have a vacation, and I'll take care of the baby for you. And it's kind of like the feeling of, even after you've left the house and you don't have the baby with you, it's almost like life without the baby is unthinkable, or you're so unused to it that you almost don't really know what to do with yourself. And at the same time, you still feel on edge, as if you're about to grab a sippy cup or change a diaper or make sure that they're safe wherever they're at in your vicinity. It's hard to retrain yourself to not have that thing or that person be there. That's an analogy for what's going on here, from what I can see, is you're so used to things being difficult, or you're so used to feelings of responsibility or things you have to do, or even feeling burdened by the past. Perhaps there are some things from the past that you never really got closure on, or you were never able to really discuss what happened with the people involved. And so you're still carrying this around with you, with it wanting to be addressed or wanting to be laid down. It's like that. So if you look at the person who's carrying the wands, this person does not have to carry all those wands. This person could prioritize and look at each of these things that they have to do and say, okay, which one of these wands is eminent or most necessary to do at this time, and which things could be laid down at a later date or laid down to address at a later date. You could almost imagine this person carrying burdens for other people as well. In which case, do you really have to carry all those burdens? Couldn't you set some of them down so you can actually walk instead of being hunched over to the point of feeling as though you're going to collapse? So this is the last dregs, I believe, of what you're having to deal with this month, is releasing these things, laying these things down finally so that you can fully move on into the future and not necessarily focus on the past anymore. So, as your challenge, you have the High Priestess. I'm getting two different things with this. The most likely scenario for this is that you have something going on that's making your bells go off. And this could be good things too. It doesn't have to be warning bells. It could just be bells. It could be an intuitive feeling about something, a gut feeling about something. Your intuition is definitely trying to speak to you. Because this is in your challenged position, perhaps your inner self or your inner High Priestess or your intuition is telling you it's time to lay these burdens down, or it's time to walk more towards the future than focusing on the past anymore. And perhaps this feeling of responsibility is so ingrained and may have even been taught to you by family members growing up. Perhaps you were raised by people who took their responsibilities extremely seriously. And perhaps their versions of what responsibilities are, they may be a little bit different from yours, but you've taken this on. You were taught this so thoroughly that it's very hard to shake off this feeling of being responsible for people or responsible for the past somehow. Your inner self is telling you it's time to lay those things down and move on, but it's very hard for you to listen to this on a constant basis. So I picked a clarifier to go with this, which was the Three of Pentacles. It could be that your intuition is telling you it's time to branch out. It's time to put your talents on display. It's time to go towards your dreams when it comes to how you want to make money in the future. These could be skills that you have already developed. These could be talents that you've had for quite some time now, but perhaps you've been nursing these talents in private, or you have been utilizing them and making money with them, but your intuition is telling you to take it a step further and really put yourself out there where people can see you. If I remember correctly, I think you had this card in your general reading for July, so this may be carrying on. It's time for you to shine your light and be seen by other people. I know that sometimes this can be hard for Scorpionic people because we tend to be at home in the underworld, or we tend to be at home in the background. And it's not always our style to put ourselves where everyone can see us. We tend to be very private people. This is a very public position to be in, is on stage in front of everyone with the lights on you. So, but your intuition is telling you, if you want to make more money or be more prosperous or go with your talents and your skills and see what's out there, see what could come from this, any opportunities, applause, people valuing you for what you provide, your intuition is definitely telling you it's time to do this. But this is a challenge because in order to do this, you would need to make space for it, which means you would have to put the past aside. You would have to let go of the feeling of responsibility or exhaustion from the past, or even just simple feelings of responsibility in general. You would have to let go of everything that has happened up until now in order to pursue this. So, what is hindering you is the Five of Pentacles, which could be considered a poverty card. This can be impoverishment of your emotional body, your physical body, your mental body, just a feeling of lack, a feeling of not having enough, a feeling of not having enough of what you need in order to have a healthy existence. This could be a lack of love, a lack of money, a lack of a good place to live. This could be a lack of many different things. It could be because of the burdens from the past you have had to go without on certain levels, or you were so used to going without that you didn't even think of the possibility that perhaps things might get better, or you may be able to draw in more of what you need in the future. It's almost like you're used to this feeling. So this is what's hindering you, is to continue to focus on this. I'm getting the word grief. Hanging on to this grief. Hanging on to this feeling of you'll never have what you need. That isn't true. And you know that too. You know that's not true. That's why your intuition is screaming at you to put yourself under the front line. That doesn't make any sense. That's why your inner high priestess is telling you to put yourself out there where people can see you. If people could see you, you might be able to solve this problem, or you may have this feeling start to fade away. So I pulled a clarifier, or rather, I picked a card to be what's helping you, because this is obviously what's hindering you. And so what's helping you is the Ace of Pentacles. This can be a new job, a new home, a new relationship, something that you want to plant, something you want to implement, something you want to get started with that would most definitely grow to something that is long-lasting and fruitful and would actually give you what you need and more. But this is just the very beginning. So what's helping you is to get started with this and to continue with this and continue to nurture this seed. From watering it, to weeding around it, to paying attention to it, to singing to it, doing everything in your power to nurture this seed so that it can grow over time. I think that's pretty straightforward. At your core of your being, you are feeling very satisfied with what you've done so far, and you've done a lot. This says you have most definitely been working hard towards your goals of what you would like to create for yourself as an individual especially, or create for yourself on your own without much help. This is, you have already planted seeds, you have already weeded, you have already watered, you've already done everything you could possibly do. And now you are reaping the rewards, or you're reaping your harvest from all of your hard work in the past. So it seems like for now, you're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling like you've done a lot, and you're almost done with something that you planted a long time ago. This may be one reason on why planting new seeds is what's helping you, is you're about to reap the harvest from this particular cycle. And you are, I would say you are self-made, or you have risen to a place of prosperity or self-containment, self-abundance, appreciation of yourself, appreciation of your gifts and your talents and all of the things that you've done so far. You're seeing the results of the things that you have done in the past. Perhaps because you're coming up to some kind of a harvest with past things, this is the reason why you're thinking about new seeds you want to plant, new projects you want to do from here. Taking this a step further and going even farther with it. So that's rather lovely. In your recent past, there is the King of Swords. I'm not getting anything necessarily negative from him at all. I'm just getting you've had to make some major decisions. You've had to really assess things. You've had to really logically scrutinize things around you on what you want to cut out, what you want to get rid of, what you want to keep, how you communicate with other people, and what your values or your guidelines are on how you want to be treated. It could even be that because of all the hardships you've had to deal with in the past, or because of all of the things you've had to shoulder and do in the past, you really can't deal with people being stupid anymore. You know, because you have had to probably do a lot of these things completely on your own with very little help, and you managed to survive and get to the point where you are now. When you've been hearing people complain about petty things, or not appreciate what they do have, or God forbid, or Goddess forbid, if they ever try to lie to you, or trick you, or not be honest with you, or not live in integrity around you, you have recently gotten to a place where you will not tolerate this anymore. You can't. It's almost painful for you to listen to or watch because of all of the things that you've had to deal with on your own. And I'm getting that perhaps a lot of the things you've had to shoulder, you've been quite silent about. It's not like you have gone around complaining about all of these things you've had to shoulder. You've kind of suffered with this silently, and perhaps this is one of the reasons on why you can't tolerate people that are complaining about stupid stuff that isn't really that big of a deal. So I feel like recently you've gotten to a place where you really just want to focus on your own personal truth. And you want to be straightforward about where you're at with people. And you've almost taken on a role of kind of watching people to see where people actually really are, other than just what they say they are or what they're doing. So that's what I'm getting from that. As your best possible outcome, this is so wonderful. I'm so happy to see this here. Your best possible outcome is for total success and victory, especially from all of your hard work, all of the effort, all of the things that you have done, all of your goals that you have steadily gone towards in a devoted manner. You have been very devoted to these goals that you're trying to do or trying to get to. Your best possible outcome is that you will win, or you will get to the finish line and you will be extremely happy at what you have done. You will be successful in whatever you set out to do, as long as you take the action steps and stay positive. This is wonderful. In your near future, you have the Four of Wands, which is a brand new, beautiful, solid foundation for something new and solid and dependable in your life. This can be a relationship that has finally tied the knot, so to speak, or gotten to a point where you realize, okay, we're together now. This is it. This is our relationship now. This can also be a home, like putting a down payment on a home or starting the foundation of an actual home that you're building. This can be buying land. This can be a business. This can be many, many different things. But basically it's saying you're off to a really good start. And not only that, it isn't just off to a really good start. It's stable now. It's dependable now. And it's something that you have a solid foundation on top of, which is wonderful. And you can continue to grow this over time and add to it over time and improve it over time. But this is your basic layout. Very nice. You right now are the Ace of Swords. I can totally see this, especially with the King of Swords in the recent past. However, with the King of Swords, because you've kind of reached this point in the past of not being able to tolerate shenanigans anymore, you may have come off to other people as being very stern or very judgmental or very exacting. And this may be how you have been perceived recently, is they don't know how to relate to you. They don't know how to talk with you. They don't know who you are really, because what you show on the outside isn't necessarily always what's going on the inside. The King of Swords can be very objective, very airy, not very emotional on the outside. As we all know, you guys are a water sign and you are quite emotional. It's just Scorpio people tend to be a little bit poker face. They are not always upfront about what's really going on with them in the deepest part of themselves. But it feels like people really had no idea what was going on with you or how to relate to you. But this is different. So what I'm getting about you now is that you kind of reached a moment perhaps where you got a little bit jaded, or you got a little bit no nonsense. Now you're at a point where you're seeing things in a new way. You're communicating in a new way. Your perceptions at this time are much more accurate than they normally are, and that's saying a lot because normally you guys are quite perceptive. So this says you're ready to talk now. You're ready to communicate. You're ready to try new ways of communicating. You're ready to see things from a new perspective or see things from other people's perspectives. Not that you weren't before, but this is being emphasized now. You may also be receiving important messages at this time, or important clues, or important revelations, ideas. possibly ideas for things that you would like to begin or start. You're also acting as a messenger for other people at this time. Perhaps without you even realizing it, you're saying things to other people that are deeply affecting them, or are making them more aware of certain things that they weren't aware of before. Or you're saying things to other people that are true and that they need to hear, but you're experimenting with new ways of communicating where possibly you're not coming off as being as harsh as before. Or whereas before you would normally stay silent or quiet about something, now you're ready to communicate with other people and let them know exactly what's on your mind. So, in your surroundings, you have the Hierophant, which is the speaker of ageless wisdom, without and within. It's your inner, I suppose you could call him your higher self, or your inner elder, the knowledge that you carry within your own body and in your own psyche. This can also be wise people outside of yourself as well. When this is in your surroundings, this is letting me know a couple of different things. This is letting me know that possibly you have some wise elders around you, and I'm not necessarily saying elders out of physical age. These could be young people, old people, could be men, women, could be anybody. This could be somebody you talk to at the gas station. But you're drawing to yourself in your surroundings elders or wise people, or people who have wise messages to give you that are just coming out of the blue. And perhaps they're saying things that resonate with you because you have that wise self within you too, which when you hear words of wisdom, you know that they're true because it resonates with your own inner being. Or it may even be a repeating of something that you have recently thought about, and then it's almost like a marker to let you know that you're on the right track. You could also be studying under someone. You could have a teacher in your surroundings or someone who's showing you valuable skills. This can also be being on a healing... I can barely talk. Okay. This can also be being on a healing journey, which makes sense. You have the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Cups as your central experience for August, which means you are hashing through deep-rooted, deep-seated feelings of exhaustion and responsibility and I'm definitely getting a feeling of without much help, or feeling as though you didn't really have any help when you should have. And so you are healing this presently. You are realizing that you need to let go of this so that you can move on, and so you can evolve and create better things in your life. Those times are over now. So, what's helping you, or I'm sorry, what is your hopes and fears? I'm looking at this as both. Your fears are that you are going to remain in an emotional state of discontent, or just not being satisfied with what you have right now. You definitely know that you have a dream or a wish or something that you would like to go towards, something you would like to cultivate in your life that would bring you happiness. But for whatever reasons, probably because you're going through a healing process of letting go of the past so that you can move forward, your hopes are that you will get up and you will do something about this, that you'll move towards your dreams, that you'll finally believe that your dreams are possible. It's totally possible for you to have your dreams or your wish. You just need to do something about it. But I'm getting a feeling of discontent, a feeling of, oh no, what if the same stuff from the past happens again? What if this is just an illusion? It's not an illusion. The other stuff is in the past now. This is a brand new journey you want to be on that you're still thinking about or you're still mulling over. Your fear is that you will remain in this state, that you'll never be satisfied. Perhaps because you are so used to things being difficult, you don't really know how to be satisfied. But it's totally possible for you to be satisfied. I pulled a clarifier to go with this. And to me, it's starting to rain. I hope it continues. I might have to take you inside, though. We'll see. I'm definitely getting that this has to do with careers, jobs, or work, or making money, or going with your talents and skills. You want a different way of making money, or a different job, or a different career, or you want inspiration to be infused into what you do. It's entirely possible for you to have this. You just need to come up with some kind of strategy or steps to take in that direction, or just start doing it. Get up off of that chair. Stop wondering whether or not it's possible or wishing for something that you don't quite have yet, and just do it, which is this one. Just do it. So your general outcome is excellent, considering the other things that are in here. You have the King of Pentacles, who is completely abundant, completely aware of his talents and his gifts and what he's capable of. You could almost consider the King of Pentacles as the master business person, the master manifester. What is crawling on me? Okay. And he's happy. He's extremely satisfied and happy. If you look at his face, doesn't he look totally happy and satisfied with what he's got going on? Not only that, he's created so much abundance for himself that he's able to fund other things. He's able to fund other people that are getting started with their own things, as in a role of being a benefactor. He's able to give money away to people who need it, whether it's through charity or through funding new businesses that belong to other people that just need a little extra money to get started. He is a master manifester. This is your general outcome. This can also be an ally as well. This could be a person in your life that can give you some good tips on how to move forward, or possibly even fund you with something that you need funding for. This can be a benefactor in your life, or it could be a partner, it could be a good friend, it could be a teacher. But it's someone who can give you a good sense of humor and to remind you to be patient with this process. This is your opposite energy. The King of Pentacles is ruled by Taurus, which is your opposite. Not that Scorpios can't be patient, but he is very patient in a manifesting sort of way. If you think about the patience and hard work that's involved in farming and allowing things to grow in their own natural timing, he is the master of patience. He's the master of knowing where things are headed and doing what he needs to do every single step of the way without getting exhausted, by pacing himself. So if this is an ally in your life, of course this can be a man or a woman. It doesn't have to be a man. And this could very well be you as well. It can be both too. So between your two outcomes, how nice is that? Your best possible outcome is for victory and success, and your general outcome is for abundance and a layout of a solid foundation so that you can grow from there to finally have what you need and more. So hopefully that made sense or helped in some way. I wish you guys all the best. I love you very much. And if you would like, check out your bonus reading, which will be about love and relationships, career, jobs, and money, and your health. Many blessings to you.